Oh, welcome to Kerri Aquatics and Exotics. My name's Susie, and this is a very special Sunday today. We have a special guest. I'm not going to tell you who it is. Da-da, 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 da-da. But she will be with us right after this video and audio sound check. Can't wait to talk to her.
Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I got a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Nah, hey everybody, it's Susie Q, so come along with me. Said I'm Susie Q.
Well, here we are with my very special guest, Kerri. This way. Welcome, Kerri, to Kerri Aquatics and Exotics. I'm sure you're very used to going
Hello.
live Sunday nights. No.
Not anymore.
Well, that's true. Oh my goodness! So, guys, get your questions.
We're coming
ready.
back though.
Oh, good, because I like watching you guys. Skipper. Who else comes on Sunday night? There's a couple of them that I watch. Huh?
Danikin comes on.
Danikin is on late at night, and unfortunately, I'm usually sound asleep by then. I barely make it through Tennessee Fish Mafia, and I'm like, oh. Bob usually gives me a pass to go home, go early. But well, look who we have. Look at they go. Wood Kerri. Can you see the chat?
No, I need to pull it up on my phone, but
Oh no. Okay, so we have Odin Hammer who's saying Wood Kerri.
Hello.
Why? Well, thank you. Why was Sammy's posting all your stuff for ScienceGal?
Oh, thank you.
Your Fish Fam links. He does very good. Hey, Paul McCarthy's in the house. Craig's Catfish Cave. Kayla's Reptiles and Aquatics. Bob, I've been working on your artwork and having fun with it. Let me tell you. Bambi McCluskey. Hey, thank you, Susie. Thank you. Rico, two amazing women. Much love to Susie and Kerri. Thank you, Rico.
Thank you.
This is awesome. So, Kerri, I cannot wait. I'm going to kind of like look at you this way. I cannot wait to hear what you've been up to, because you go to like so many shows. You're changing your fish room around. There's so much going on in your life. I want to hear some. But let's start off and act like nobody knows who you are.
Okay.
Aside from author, you want to give a little introduction to who you are?
Well, I'm Kerri. I go by ScienceGal Aquatics here on YouTube. Me and my better half, Jesse, we host Aquarium Dilemmas. It's a podcast, and we're getting ready to start up our next season here shortly after this remodel. But I mainly am obsessed with guppies. I've kept guppies the longest. That's what I feel like I know the most about. But I'm just overall obsessed with the fish hobby, and anything I see, I fall in love with. So if I can bring it home, chances are I will. But I've been keeping fish since I don't have a single memory without a fish tank. I was kind of born into the hobby, but I didn't know how to properly keep fish until I found the Fish Fam here on YouTube. So that's me.
Isn't the Fish Fam amazing?
Yes.
Love the community. I absolutely love this community.
Mm-hmm.
I do. If somebody has a question, Susan, your volume is a little low. Let's see if I can fix that. Yeah, I usually do my ASMR test and whisper into the microphone.
This is the first time I've used this stuff in a while. I'm so out. I'm like, it's like ring rust. if you stop for a little while, then you're like, well, do I even know how to do this?
That's exactly how I'm feeling about getting back into video, making long
Mm-hmm.
videos, because I've been making the shorts and having a blast at it, but not
Mm-hmm.
really putting too much thought into it. And apparently, when you put more thought and effort into it, they do better. Go
That's what they
figure.
say. That's what
But
they
I
say, you
don't.
know.
I
I
happen
test
to
it from
see
time to
something.
time.
Yeah, I just happen to
Mm-hmm.
see something and I'll clip it real quick. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. I caught Sophie is my severe macaw. In her
Mm-hmm.
cage now, I've got two puppies, 11 months old. And here's what Sophie now says all the time: stop, stop, stop. She must hear me say that all the time. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, our puppies are now dogs,
Wow.
and I have 4 Shiba Inus, and that's why I don't get anything done.
What kind of dogs? Aren't they like really high maintenance?
Yeah, and I was introduced to them when I met Jesse, and I
Oh,
said they're a perfect
wow.
match for you. I understand it now. I went out there. One of the pups, like I said, I think that they're about 2 now, and I heard them get out of the fence, but I was like, "Where are they at?" And Teddy was no joke, like 6 feet up in a tree,
Oh
and I was
my.
like,
How?
"How?"
Do they go
And
into
then
your
I have
pond?
no, when they were little bitty, one fell in by accident, but I was
Oh,
right there and grabbed it because they don't like water. They are not water dogs. They don't like it.
probably traumatized them, huh?
Probably, but they if it rains or anything, they're not ones that appreciate it. They don't like water. But they I don't have a problem with them anymore, just that one time.
Right. That is so cool. I have
Mhm.
black labs, and they're very
Mhm.
high maintenance now. I'm told that they calm down in a couple years, but holy cow, we're talking. I don't know what I was thinking at the age of 64 getting two lab puppies, but
Yeah,
got them.
you got more energy than me.
They're here now, and we are learning to walk on a leash and having a blast. But they don't come down in
Uh-huh.
the fish room. It's funny. These two big dogs
Really?
are afraid to walk down the stairs.
Hmm.
Now, I had to think in
Who would
now
have thought?
backyard, I have a ramp that goes
Mhm.
into my backyard. And in the front, there's like two steps before you're on, 3 steps before you're on the ground. So I
Mhm.
think they see these 13 steps and they just get scared, which is fine by me
Yeah.
because they will tear into
It's
everything.
okay. Yeah.
Everything from the waist down is messy in my fish room. It's all
Yeah.
clean, like for filming.
Yeah.
Speak,
Mine's getting there. It's still kind of torn apart.
you're doing a lot of work in your fish room.
Yeah, I I thought it was so easy. Oh, we'll get it done just like a week, just just a little bit. It won't take, and then we get almost done, then we add more, and we get a little bit done, and then we add more. But it looks fantastic. The work was well worth it. But I think I have painted every day for a month, and I don't ever want to paint again. Like not even a pretty picture. I'm just done.
I
Whatever it looks like,
absolutely,
this is
I,
what it will be.
I love the phase that you're in now
Uh huh.
because, and I got to experience it when my kids moved out and opened up this room, and I got to create like a whole new fish room, but
Mm-hmm.
it's never ending. But
Yeah.
it's
It's
constant creation, planning. You think like I pull out the graph paper. That's the first thing I do, and I got
mm-hmm.
everything measured out. This will fit. This will fit. And I kind of already made my mind up. I don't want anything from the waist down tank wise. I don't mind
Yeah.
storage, but it's too hard for me to change water but of
Yes.
course now I got a 40-gallon breeder over there that's on the
Mm-hmm.
ground because it's my care species. I got my lipstick
Yes.
gobies over like so it's like they
There's
kind of
always
infiltrate
one
your
on the ground. There's always that one that you're like, but I was the same way. That's the reason there's a bunch of reasons why we did this, and then we finally just did it. But those old racks that I had, the one at the bottom were really hard to water change. They were really hard to start. And I
yes,
got sick of it. And I'm really short. And I didn't like the tank super high. Even though these, I still have to use a step stool. It's
right,
still easier being in a straight line for some reason than how we had it. It's not as time consuming anymore. but I
Right.
didn't like them super high either because I had to stand on things, and I fall now more.
Oh no. You
I trip over my own feet. So I was like, I need to stop standing on ladders and step stools this high, and I still couldn't reach the bottom of that 55-gallon when I was
oh,
watered. This it was actually this one right here. I couldn't reach the bottom, so this was always just not to my liking.
okay.
So now this one's not these they're bigger tanks, but they're not on the floor. They're about the
Right.
perfect height for me. And these, like I said, they're still a little high, but they're still easier to manage than I was just like what you said. I didn't want anything super low and super high, and I was tired of tripping over cords and
Right. So when
just
you
wanted it.
stand up, are they about eye
Mhm.
height?
I can show you. Hang
Yeah.
on. My cords are long now.
Oh yeah, they
Can
are
you
eye
see?
height. That's perfect. My
Mhm.
mom always said, and she's an artist. She said pieces of artwork should be about this level.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
for those to be here, which I'm assuming for Jesse is a little
Mm-hmm.
bit
They're
lower.
perfect for him. Yeah. And I'm the type that I'm always I sit on the floor versus a chair a lot for some reason. So
Oh
these are actually
wow.
perfect to just sit like a TV and just like stare at. And now that I can get literally like right here,
Yes.
I can see all kinds of shrimp that I never knew I had.
Wow. I just did I didn't post the video yet. Where is it? The what is it? Crayfish. What is her name? She does the shrimp.
Uh,
Crayfish Empire.
that's
So
what
she gave
I
these
should have
away
said.
at the Clash
Mhm.
and not thinking,
Those
like I
were
haven't
great.
used them. I just put one in there and I did a video on it. The shrimp, I didn't realize I had this many shrimp. They came out from everywhere. So I'm like,
Hmm.
this is so cool. And then I did a time lapse just to watch a
Yeah.
little shrimp get a little. But I got a hassock now in here so I can kind of sit on the hassock and because my one on the bottom is my Cares fish, my Xenotoca
Hmm.
duodri. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how I say
Well,
it.
that was
It's a goodie.
fancy.
It's a goodie. Oh, I hope there's some questions in here, but I think I might have missed some because I went right to the bottom. Susie, if I changed my fish for the logo, would you fire me? Absolutely not. Not at all. I'm having a blast. I've entered into this world, Kerri, of digital artwork because I'm making the coffee mugs
Hmm.
and I'm doing things and like I
Hmm.
made this and it actually looks like me and my girlfriends. We were in a wedding party and these two are there were two brides and we were in the wedding party and it's not a picture. It's like I digitally made that.
Hmm.
I made a whole line for my granddaughter and I'm having a blast. And
I know.
so he's letting
They're
me play
great.
around with like a logo, not
Uh
this
huh.
kind of logo, more of a web-based artwork logo, not a
Hmm.
two color, because that's what I consider a logo. Is just like my Q is my like that's my logo, but my
Yeah.
Q Aquatics and Exotics is my web-based
I wasn't
logo.
that creative, so I just went with handwriting.
That it's perfect. It's very recognizable. It's
It's
recognizable
very,
on this my cloth.
uh it's the hairdresser in me coming out hardcore because everything is black and white and just have to be able to read it.
So, what other events have you been doing? I know you were going to go to the Clash, and I definitely want to talk about Hawaii. Wow, dream
Yeah.
vacation. But like, what other fish
Yeah.
events have you been doing?
I went to the Aquashellas. I went to the Canadian Pet Expo, and
Wow,
then I visited the aquarium gallery, which to me was an event because it was awesome.
that
So that
is because
counts.
there's not a whole lot of people that have ever been there,
I
so it's a
know,
pretty big
and I
deal.
hope we can. I hope we can like create a best friend group because Gordon. I haven't met Katie yet, but he's great. He's a he
Yeah,
was great to talk. Uh huh.
that is so awesome. And then you went to Hey Skipper. I gotta say hey to everybody too. Like, look at this. You went to Hawaii?
Yeah, that was an unexpected late night decision that because I couldn't go to the clash, but I had already bought tickets, so I didn't
Right,
want to lose them. So we had to just go somewhere a different weekend because things with my son. So I was like, let's go here. And then because of all the traveling, I got Jesse a ticket with airline points and everything. So it just kind of it fell in my lap unexpected, and I was just like,
wow.
why not? Like, why
So
not?
John
We
Bag
did.
of Donuts and my late night
Uh-huh.
decision is whether we're gonna get pizza. Yours is
I know.
going to Hawaii.
I was like, I don't want to wait because I was excited about going on a trip, but I got to make it on a different weekend type of thing. So I was like, just looking at places to go that I hadn't been before. That I was like, he hadn't gone before. I was like, and I guess it's kind of bad to say, but we always tend to go places when something bad's kind of happening. Like we went to the ocean for the first time because everything with COVID. I don't know what you're supposed to say anymore. And then this one with the fires and things, and they said it was still safe to travel. So that was the only reason why we were talking to the landlord of the building, and he said everything was okay. So they wanted the tourism because they needed it. So they gave
Right.
us a good deal on the hotel. And I had never been there before, so I didn't really know where to stay. And luckily, I mean, it was a random. We were going to go back to the airport. We needed a car. We were really far away from anything. We were like 15, 20 minutes from anything.
Wow.
And so we needed a car. And I was wondering why the hotel came with a parking, like a spot. I was like, I don't know why. It just comes with a parking spot. Then when we got there, we quickly discovered why. We were going to go back to the airport to get a rental car. And when we got in I think it was a Lyft, she's like, my husband rents cars if you want to go with me to my house and get a car. We were like, okay.
Oh, that's
So
so
we paid him
cool.
$100, got some keys for like 4 days, and it luckily was the same car we drove, so we knew all about the car. And Jesse was smart enough to pin where to drop it back off at. So everything kind of just worked out perfectly. And so we didn't really know where to go, but we just kind of drove around till we found cool places to do stuff. So it was a
That
short trip, but it
so
was,
cool.
and I don't know if honestly, I think for beaches, we liked Gulf Shores a lot. And
Okay.
Hawaii, like it was great. I'm really glad I got to experience it, but it was a long day of traveling. And, but I'm glad we got to go. It was fun.
So I've been telling John Bag of Donuts for years, okay, over a decade now,
Uh
that
huh.
we can get married when we can afford the honeymoon
Mm-hmm.
to Hawaii.
Yeah.
So, and because, like you said, I wouldn't know where to stay or where to visit, I thought
Yeah.
a cruise would be the best because then you unpack
Mm-hmm.
once and you get to see all different islands.
Yeah.
But
Well, my sister actually, she got married. We went to Maui, and my sister got married in Honolulu, and that's where my uncle lives. And I didn't know that he's like a big saltwater guy. He has like 11 saltwater tanks. I mean,
wow,
obviously, we're not super close, but luckily, Kayla talked to him and he gave him a big tour and everything. But they got a wonderful wedding package out there, and Mark did her hair, and it was really sweet. And it was just, and they have beautiful pictures from it. And it was just the two of them, and it was a wonderful experience. Like,
that's
and they
what I
came
want to
back and
experience.
surprised everybody, and they're like, well, if you're not here for the reception, you can't attend the wedding, or like they said something like that. But we were like, what? That doesn't. And they showed the wedding video and everything, and it was
Oh,
super sweet.
wow.
So they got to have their private, because my dad has a brain injury, so he couldn't travel, and she didn't feel like it was fair if everybody could go and not him. So
Right.
they chose a private wedding and then came back and had a really cool reception. So
What
it
a
was a fun
wonderful
time, and it
story.
was perfect for them and everything. But to share you that story, I guess is the point is, yeah, you should go to Hawaii and get married.
I love that. Oh, look at all the people we have in here. This is great. Big Steve's Aquatics is in here and says hi.
Hello.
Linda
Hi.
Worth. Let's see who we got. We got Larry D. He's my chili
Hello,
pepper.
hello.
He's a
It's
chili
been a while since I've talked, so I'm going to tell you all the stories.
Story time. Go ahead.
We'll start. Where do you want to start? Do you want to talk about more of the remodel? Do you want to talk more about fish events?
I
Whatever
would
you want to
love
talk
to hear
about,
more
I'll talk
about the
about.
remodel. I would love, because I've got a funny feeling you're not videotaping everything you're doing because you're hands on doing things.
Yeah. I try to get little snippets of everything when I'm not holding something or handing something or trying to find something or going back to the store because we've got the wrong, whatever the reason I needed to go back. Apparently, there's a difference between concrete stain and concrete paint.
Oh. I didn't know.
And
But didn't you cover your floor with something else?
yeah, but because of however my brain works, I wanted to paint the floor
Okay.
too.
No, that works. That works. Yeah.
Well, see, there's certain. I got these floor mats and I love them. They're the best thing that I could have got, but they don't fit everywhere. And the floor just honestly was like 500 different colors. So I just kind of wanted it to be a little bit, but stain rubs off when you
Ooh.
walk on it or put tanks on it or
Overflow
blow on it, anything.
Yeah.
And then after you get done doing 2 coats of stain and you realize it's the wrong stuff, you get to do 2 more coats of paint.
Oh man.
So I could tell you all about painting and nap rollers and texture rollers.
Wow. Oh, now you can't roller skate on those mats that you're putting down, but you can on those.
No, the whole time. I will be honest with you, 100% the entire time I walk on this floor, I think of nothing but you and those roller skates because they were super slippery when we first got them in. And me and my little one was doing nothing but like sliding. And I was like, I could totally do water change. And do you know how many times I've literally thought about you and filming a water change and roller skates like 100 times a day? And if I texted you or called you every time I thought of you in the course of the day, you wouldn't be my friend no more. And that's
hysterical.
the whole heart 100% truth.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Now, when I went to the Clash, not only the way it was set up, there was no empty room. It rained almost like the whole time. It was like, it was.
Yeah,
so how much
my skates are in my closet. Not much. Just honestly, I'm kind of at the point of tweaking where we want to put cameras and things like that. I got the last few cords. I needed some longer cords just in case, but just tweaking last minute things. I think we've got most of all of the big things done.
Now, do you have a linear piston air pump like system, or what do you use?
Not yet. I think Jesse ordered something, but I'm not sure what he ordered, but he said he ordered a pump because the old shelf we had behind my live stream and everything, he broke down and made me like a little fry rack, and there's 9 tanks on that, and that is our plan for that rack is to get, I forget, they're probably some kind of fancy name from them, but they're the sponge filters that are like double that you hook on the side of your tank. They're sponge filters, but they're not they're like
that side by
side.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like those.
Airlift to give it a little bit of
whatever those fancy ones are called, those are the ones I like. And that's what we have planned for that rack. All of these behind me and all of these tanks, I usually use the Tetra Whisper filter on them. And then I load them down with media and things like that. But I got in the habit of using those, honestly, because when I was a kid and I had fish tanks, my mom only let me have them if she couldn't hear them. she just didn't like the sound of the water where I like it.
I
So
love that sound, right?
yeah, she hates it. She hates it.
Wow.
So I started using them because that's all I had like that's all I could get. And so that's I guess it's a sentimental type thing. I don't know. I just always use them and it's hard for me to give them up. So that's what I use in a lot of my tanks. But here, since I've gotten to know the fish fam and I have been going to all the events and more club things, I've been trying out different things. So I do have hang on the backs. I have an internal canister filter. I do have a Fluval canister filter, sponge filters, but
Have you
those hang on the back
tried
ones.
the deep dirted bed that does its own filtration in about a year's time?
I have tried a version accidentally of something that I just had in my tank. Like I'm sure I've heard of it, I know about it, but the way that I have honestly how I do it, I have dirted tanks because I went through a phase where I wanted to try out different types of substrates.
Sure.
And sometimes my filters, get clogged and you don't notice it. So before I knew that you could unclog them and things like that, since Jesse's been helping me, I just decided to be like, I'm sick of doing this. So I would just throw the filter out. And
Okay.
so that tank would become a no filter tank. And then I would just kind of add things through the years to the substrate. So
Sure.
it's my version of a sort of kind of that way, but it works for me. Accidentally fell into it.
So most of my reptiles are
Uh-huh.
bioactive, meaning they
Uh-huh.
are self-sustaining with everything.
Yeah.
So when I heard about this, and for since I started, I've had 2 or 3 dirted tanks because of dust and
Uh-huh.
something,
Uh-huh.
and the Wallstat method, and then it was just
Yeah.
reminded again when Lisa had Diane Wallstat on her channel,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I
they
know,
redid
right?
that bowl. That wasn't that great. And I've been watching Father Fish, so I have a couple of Father
Uh-huh.
Fish tanks, and now I'm ready
Yeah.
to compare the 4 or 5 different
Yeah.
deep beds, and I really like it. I have yet to
Yeah.
go filterless. I know
Yeah.
I can,
Yeah.
but there's something inside of. I love the sponge filter. I have a linear piston
Mhm.
air pump, so why not, right?
Yeah.
And if it gets a little murky, I'm always about that. Hang on the back filter. I throw some
Mhm.
polyfill in the back and get it cleaned
Oh
up
yeah.
like that. And then I'm too lazy to
Mhm.
take the filter down, so now it's a filter tank again. So,
Yeah.
but I like it.
Like I've had tanks for a long time with no filters on them. Like I said, because it was accidental, I noticed that it wasn't working for a while and I was like, why not? But they have been heavily planted. And then once
Yes.
I noticed that I would do more water changes and they like this one right here that I was talking about, that this tank didn't have a filter on it for the longest time. And it wasn't until I moved it here that I put a filter back on it, kind of like it got all stirred up from moving and
Right.
everything like that. But it started as a dirted tank, and then I put a sand cap on it, and then I put some stratum in it, and then I put some more sand in it. But
Yep. Yep.
I like just having fun and seeing what happens. And sometimes those ohs, like, oh, my filter's clogged. I'll try this. I never would have tried that before I knew
Right.
about this, be like, oh, okay, I kind of know everything's fine. And down here, everything's on the smaller side. So
Right.
I'm one of those that like smaller fish in a bigger tank.
Yes.
I didn't know I like that until I accidentally tried it. I was like, wow, this is great. So
Yes.
I don't have a whole bunch of bioload, but my arowana tank upstairs that wouldn't work at all
Right.
for.
No.
So
Right.
it's really I do stuff like that more down here than I do with my
Right.
tank upstairs.
So this
But
tank was probably one of my
sometimes,
oldest tanks set up. It's
hmm
not the same fish in it, but it is the same substrate. So it's at least 6 years
hmm
old. And
yeah,
because I didn't know what I was doing, I dumped, I think it was Eco Complete, the whole bag of Eco Complete. So it's like 3.5 inches of Eco Complete.
hmm
And it was my first angel tank. And
hmm
I noticed how crystal clear it was. The plants grew great. And the
oh
only
yeah,
thing I've done lately is added 2 inches of sand on top now,
hmm
but it's still the same substrate from 6 years ago.
oh
And
yeah,
there's like little scuds and things here and there. Well, the angels grab
hmm
that quick. But I'm like, I really like how crystal clear they can
Mm-hmm.
be. And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
always thinking when I first set up the dirty tank, it was messy, and it doesn't have to be that way. But
My plants at the time, that's when they were the happiest. I don't think I've ever my plants, I feel like they're still happy, but when it was super dark brown tannin
yeah.
filled, my plants at the, during that stage exploded, like they grew really well.
So when you said dark
But
brown and the tannins, I do want to talk about live bearers
mm-hmm.
for a bit because it is like your
Oh
specialty. And I have one tank
yeah,
that has endlers in it,
yeah, uh-huh.
and my Cares fish are live bearers, but I really don't have much success. My mollies are in my brackish water, but I can't seem to keep guppies alive for the life of me, and I don't know what I'm doing different than everybody else in the world. That they say just put a
Mm-hmm.
trio and you'll have 100. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
not true, true. But I did want
I've
to
had
quickly. Go ahead.
yeah.
I was just gonna say hey to Ratish and Odan. I think I said hi to Odan. Melvin's in the
Mm-hmm.
house. If anybody
Hello,
has any
hello.
questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. I think I just scrolled by some questions, though, so I'm not very good. Scuba Steve is in the house. Danican, what's up? He says, "What's up, fish people?" Um, oh, look at all these people we have. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna skip right to the bottom because I select pet.
Hello, hello.
Sketty Nona, like I just missed a whole bunch of people. Bunny Viper. Okay, now I'm at the bottom of the chat. Whew. Okay. I just want Jay Oliver's in the house. I see people saying hi to Jay. I think I missed him. Speaking of guppies, so tell me about the best water for guppies because all my tanks are heavily planted with the
Mm-hmm.
dirt substrate and the sand. I have one black water, but my water comes out at 7.0, TDS of about 300. So I don't ever change that part of it. That just is what it is. And if the fish like it, they like
Yeah,
it. If they don't, they don't. So what
yeah.
is it that I'm doing wrong that I cannot cultivate guppies of all fish?
Uh,
Like that, I just put you on the spot like that.
I just they like hard water.
Meaning black
They
water or that
just a
softer
lot of
acidic?
minerals. A lot of
Okay.
minerals.
Okay.
A lot of minerals
Like things like
in
with
your
crushed
water.
coral.
Mhm.
Oh.
Mhm.
That is not what any of my tanks are.
Yes. That they can reproduce on in softer water, but you're going to have better luck once they reproduce with the offspring that they have. They'll do better than their parents. The parents will probably, if, especially if they're coming from harder water and going into softer water, if you find guppies that have similar water that as you do, you'll probably have better luck than if you get guppies from me. They probably won't do as
Ah,
well,
because we have
type of
very
thing.
different water.
Mm-hmm. So if you find a line that comes from a softer water place, you'll probably do better. And then once, if you find a pregnant female and then put her in your tank, and then she has babies, those babies once they grow up will have offspring better. If that makes any
So
sense,
I
that was
can
really wordy.
acclimate guppies to my water as opposed to
Yes,
trying to chase this water parameters that I
yes,
don't feel like I have.
yes. Because if you get guppies, I'm just assuming that most people have harder water than softer water. I've just been to more places. It just seems like there's less places that have softer water. But if you get guppies, let's say I ship you guppies and my water's really, really hard, they're going to have a harder time acclimating than softer water guppies going to harder water. If you sent me guppies, they would do better than me sending you guppies.
Ah. And how do you test for minerals? What do you use to test for hardness?
I don't. Honestly, I just know you kick the dirt, you hit rocks here. I've never really I should know and I probably have in the past when I was in school, but I don't. I have liquid rock water. Like it's
Oh, very
just
different than mine. Yeah.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the cave state. Like we it's really rocky here. You
Okay.
it's really hard water here. And I just assumed you had softer water.
would
I
think
didn't really know, but I felt like you did from listening to you in years past and thinking about it because I know you've had this problem. I've heard you talk about it a few times, and that
it's
was
very
my best
frustrating. I love
guess.
guppies. Yeah.
Hmm. You'll probably, I would just, if you go to your club meeting, because I feel like you go to club meetings and
Oh,
things
every
like
month.
that.
Bucks
So
County
if you
Aquarium
found a,
Society.
yeah, I couldn't remember the name. I was like, I can't remember the name, but I felt like you did. If you found a really good breeder that breeds in your water, I would stick with guppies from them.
Let me tell you, I got about 8 of these bright yellow tiger
Mm-hmm.
endlers. I am in
Mm-hmm.
love. I now have
Mm-hmm.
about 40 of them. And it's just a little 20
Mm-hmm.
gallon all in one tank.
Yeah.
It didn't even have any filtration. It's just because the filter broke a
Mm-hmm.
couple of years ago. And I try to keep a pump going, but those pumps don't last very
Yeah.
long. And
Yeah. It's
they are
totally
loving it.
possible though. Mm-hmm.
It's so filled with plants. I don't see how they can
Mm-hmm.
swim, but it's so tiny. And the
Yeah.
more I look, the more I see there's so many fry, so many fry. I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
want this. This is where, why
Mm-hmm.
are they so different from the guppies? And I guess it's from where
Mm-hmm.
I got them. I got them at the Bucks County
Mm-hmm.
Aquarium.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
That would be my best guess, but it's 100% possible to take guppies from hard water to soft water. It's just that is the hardest for them to acclimate to. Then
Okay.
it's just easier going from soft to hard than
And I
it
think
is
my
from hard to
mollies do
soft.
good because they're in brackish water.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty hard.
Yeah.
That's pretty hard. They're in with my colorful ones are in with my mud skippers, and then I had a nano
Mm-hmm.
saltwater tank upstairs that I don't have nano saltwater fish anymore or shrimp or anything like that. So I got
Mm-hmm.
5 white mollies and put them in
Oh
this little
wow.
tank, and they just look spectacular. I'm like, wow, I like
Yeah.
that, and it's a lower salt salinity level.
Mm-hmm.
I've been teaching my
Yeah.
granddaughter how to test the salinity. This is for the mud skippers, and then this is for the saltwater tank, and now we're calling the one upstairs another
Mm-hmm.
brackish tank.
Yeah.
So out of all your
Yeah. I
tanks,
don't
how
have
many
any
are live
brackish tanks
bearers?
right now. Mm-hmm. Uh, it's probably all of them, but four.
Really?
But no, I lied. Five. It's mainly guppies. It's mainly guppies, but I do have some platies down here. I do have a couple different types of goodeids down here, but it's mainly guppies. Yeah, it's mainly guppies.
Wow. So what are your other tanks that are not live bearers?
Oh, well then I would trust Jay Oliver. He's pretty.
Isn't
If he
he's
says
amazing, isn't he?
yeah, if he says I just always the ones I've had I just keep them in harder water and they've always done. But if they know, they know. And again, I'm not teach me something too. So
So here's a question: doesn't putting
uh-huh.
saltwater fish in hard water cause them to get kidney stones? That's a good question. I don't know anything medical
It
like that.
is. I don't know.
Cooks in the house. Hey,
I've honestly never thought about it to know, to tell you the truth.
wow, that's very interesting. I think it's very interesting. So I'm real happy with the guppies. I'm sticking with the guppies, but I'm
Hmm.
setting up this 33-gallon long. So it's a 4 foot
Uh-huh.
long tank, and I love it. Right
Yeah.
now, I've got a big bacteria
That sounds
bloom going
great.
on and enjoying it. I
Yeah.
don't not like that part. It's got about
Uh-huh.
30 plants in it already, and I wanted to like get lush. And I just threw like a handful of white cloud mountain minnows in there because I have them in
Okay.
every tank. So I was like, and they're
They're
doing
great.
great. But I would love to
Hmm.
have some live bearers, but I'm afraid to mix them. And I noticed in your book, you said that you
Hmm.
can mix them. I thought that the
Yeah.
guppies would mix with the platies or they would mate with the mollies and you get these freakazoid fish. Is that possible?
You can now that you put me on the spot, I can't even that you can breed them with platies, but they don't breed with mollies, and they will make hybrids, but they don't all,
Oh.
their offsprings don't always have offspring.
So that if they do have fry, maybe
It's the
that's
one,
why. If they have
they
fry,
have
they
to be
just
in the same, yeah, they have to be in the same family. When you have the like the family, the phylum, the genus, like that scientific nomenclature, they have to be in the same family for
okay.
them to breed. And but for I've never gotten the like their babies, if they have babies, I've never got them to breed, if that makes sense.
Yes, yes, that is. Look at Web's trying to get a threesome going here. There's more paint coming up here too. Believe me, Whip. If I knew
Whip's
how to do that,
great.
I would. So if you had a 33-gallon long, 4 foot long,
Uh-huh.
but it's not very high,
Yeah, that sounds like a great footprint.
what would
That
you
would be
put in that
great. Well, I would go with guppies. I would load it down with guppies, but I've kind of been digging angelfish lately, so I'd probably, I don't know why, but this angelfish tank that me and Jesse's been working on, I know it's right
Love my
behind you.
angels.
I haven't had them in a long time. Usually when I do get them, I always give them to my dad because that's what he really likes them. So I don't usually keep them long term because I give them to my dad. But I don't know. I would probably give it a shot with some kind of angelfish. But I have angelfish, tetra, and corridora together right now, and I would do some kind of, I don't know why. It's just here lately I've been really digging that tank, and I always really liked it. I always really enjoyed it, but right now I don't know. It's kind of, I just really like it.
I do love revamping tanks. Even though I keep saying I'm just
Mhm.
going to leave them be and just let them be, I'm just going to leave them be. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
well, maybe I'm just going to move them. But I did notice with the
Mhm.
deep bed, I'm not as willing to put a net inside and capture any
Yeah,
fish. I'm like, okay, we're just going to leave them be. We're going to leave them be.
I can understand that. Yeah.
So my Bucks County Aquarium Society, what we like to do a couple times a year is visit some
Mhm.
of our sponsor stores, or local fish stores, or not so local fish stores. Sometimes a couple in a row. They give out prizes. Well, this Saturday we're going to Kuboid's, which is an amazing
Mhm.
fish store. Now I also have something I have to be at 1 o'clock, so I can only go for a couple hours, but I don't want to miss it because this guy, this Kuboid's, his name's Harvey. They get in so many
Mhm.
amazing different fish, and I noticed during my last tour, I have one, two, three, four, 5 tanks set up,
Mhm.
nothing in them. So that's why I'm starting to like ask people like, what would you
Oh
put?
yeah.
What would you put here? And because I for the most part, it has to be a plant loving, not
Yeah.
plant eating loving,
Yeah. Yeah.
compatible. Because I'm really loving. I'm if I could live in the rainforest and just have that kind of atmosphere here with it raining inside the fish room, I'd be so happy. John would not be.
Mhm.
I would be thrilled to death to live in that kind of humid, hot. But John thinks I need a dehumidifier. You got air conditioner coming in here. I'm like, I don't want air in my fish room. I want it to be like 80 degrees. He goes, that's too hot. I'm like,
Uh-huh. I'm
no.
never comfortable. When I'm cold, I wish it was hot. When it's
Yep,
hot, I wish
yep.
it was cold. And then I'm always complaining that I'm like, huh, I can't breathe. But then I have like 3 layers on, so I do it to myself.
So, what's your favorite tank that you have?
The angelfish tank right now,
Yeah, with the
honestly. But I
corridors.
think, yeah, it was upstairs. So I think it's because it's so new down here. And I looked at it a lot upstairs, but I'm down here more. So I think it's
Right.
just because it's new. It's just new down here.
And what else
But
did you
it's
say was in with the angels?
there's corridora and some white long skirt tetra
Mm.
in there.
I've never
So
owned a long skirt, big belly tetra. I got
hmm
Congo tetras, Buenos Aires
oh
tetras,
wow, uh-huh.
but never those. And there, I don't think those two that I mentioned are very peaceful. Like they're
Yeah,
kind of,
I
I
think
say,
they're a little bit more on the nippy side. This tank behind me right here, I don't know if you can see it through the
oh,
microphone. I'll move this. Let's get back.
Is that a sword plant right there? I love that.
Mm-hmm. This one has Kerri Tetra. I
Oh, one of
love
my
Kerri
favorites.
Tetra.
The blue Kerri Tetra for Kerri.
Diamond Tetra, Black Tetra, and some coolie loaches in there. And this one's really fun because they get to schooling together a little bit, and they'll go back and forth.
All the tetras
And
school
it's
together.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Ah,
mm-hmm. There's two. There's only two in here. I got them a long time ago, and I only have two left. But they look like the Kerri Tetras, but they're more orange, and I honestly can't remember what they are. But they are koi angels and 3 black angels.
ooh,
I think
do
there's
the fins look kind of lacy on the black ones, or are they
no.
solid black?
They are solid black.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first time I've kept my first angels. I bred them. They were
Mm-hmm.
great. I forget what the name, but
Mm-hmm.
they were like black and white striped. These are blue angels. And it's the first time I
Mm-hmm.
haven't mixed them with anything else because I really want to breed them. Now all of a
They look
sudden they're not
pretty.
breeding at all. Very
Mm-hmm.
cool.
I got my dad's angelfish to. They were like wigglers, but
Aw.
then that was about the furthest along I've ever got them. But he likes angelfish and neon tetra together, which it works for him somehow.
Right,
I don't
right.
know. It just does, and that's his favorite combination. But
That
I've
sounds like a
never
great
gotten them to breed
combination.
or anything. Yeah, but I never get anything like that to usually. I don't know why. Maybe that's why I always end up giving them to him in the end because but these seem more peaceful. These just seem to get along better than some of the ones I've gotten in the past. But I always got him marbled
Yes.
angelfish. That's what he likes, and I would always get them and then keep them for a little bit, and then I'd give them to him, and he would go get neon tetra and put in there, and
My
it worked.
favorite fry to grow up
Uh-huh.
are angelfish because they're
Really?
perfect replicas. They're little
Uh,
tiny
yeah,
angelfish. Like they look
I've
like
seen them
angelfish.
when they were teeny tiny, and they're so cute. They're so tiny, but man, that's that's good to know.
Yeah, I would
I
kind
like
of
I
think
said,
that's
I've
the
never.
only thing that would be good in the 33 would be tiny
Mhm.
angelfish
Yeah,
because they're just too big. I mean, the angelfish
yeah,
I had were
that is
probably
true.
this big, so they
Mine
get
aren't
pretty
that big
tall.
yet. That's probably why I said that. I've they're not that big yet. I
And
seen
this,
some at the fish show that were ginormous, and I was like,
yes,
wow,
right.
I've never gotten or seen one sub at the show
This
that
also
big.
has 6 Pandagara. Have you ever had the
Oh wow.
Pandagara? Oh my
Nope.
gosh, my
I've just
favorite algae eating fish right there,
uh-huh.
Pandagara. Love it,
Yeah,
love it,
I've
love
heard
it.
of them and I feel like I've seen them somewhere. It might have been at the auction. I felt like I've seen them somewhere, but I've never kept them or anything.
Yeah,
But
I've
my
heard
fish
Bob
selection
Seafrog talk
here
about them.
is very because my local fish store closed down. So all I have here is PetSmart. And then when we can make our monthly meetings or a fish swap. But it seems like here the last handful of seems like the last year my fish swap's always on an Aquashella weekend. So I
Oh,
seems like I've been missing them lately, and I'm actually kind of sad about it.
yes. Now, are
But I
you
have to
planning on
tell
going to every Aquashella all the time, like every location?
if until they need me, until they unless they don't need me, as long as I feel like they need me and they want me, I will be there.
Okay, cool,
But I
cool.
have to tell Lady Diane why she's here before, because I'm a horrible friend and I need to message her more too. The Vienna guppies that I got from her last time I saw her, I have 2 tanks of now. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm a horrible messenger backer.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
awful. I'm the type of friend that you will hear from me. I will check on you a few times a year. Like, I love you. I hope all is well. But I'm one of those friends that's like, if you need me, I will be there. But I am not one of those that typically chit chat like all the time. And I'm sorry. But if you need me, call me. Otherwise, I'll check on you, check on each other every few
Yeah.
months, type of thing, and be like, okay, we're good.
That's
I
how
have
my
your
best
back.
friend my best friend is. We can go months and months. You know,
Uh-huh.
she's the one that just got married. We go months without talking, and
Uh-huh.
when we do talk, it's like we never missed. You know, like we never
That's the
missed.
reason at these fish shows I'm that way. It's like I haven't talked to you for months, but I will come at you like I just talked to you an hour ago.
Oh, look at this! I got a super sticker from Kalish
Oh
Reptiles. Thank you, and it
no.
is Shiba dog riding with a brush, writing #1 on it. So watch your earplugs, Kerri, because this could get loud. Thank you very much, Bob Taylor. There's Fish Fam. I think I said hi to Fish Fam Links, but I'm not sure. Thank you for you and Sammy for everything that you do here. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Super important question alert. Is it Suzy or Susie? SUZYQUE. Any name that has a Z and a Y and a Q, gotta be it. Gotta be it. Yeah. So I go by SUZYQUE. Susie Q. Although my website Mugged by Q, I bought both Mugged by QUE and Mugged by Q, just in case
Mm-hmm.
you didn't know. And then
Yeah,
so I bought both.
that's smart.
You know how it goes. Speaking of Mugged by Q, I gotta give a shameless
Mm-hmm.
plug. This
Mm-hmm.
should help with any let's see, Christmas presents, holiday presents. I make license plates, mugs, coasters. They can be custom or generic. I have like hundreds of them on my website. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to make Father Fish shirts. They're also on my website. What else?
Your mugs are
Anyway,
great. It's
I
just
just
out of reach. But your mugs are great.
thank you. Now I know you make all your own stuff. Do you not, Kerri? That's pretty awesome.
I don't make anything. My mom makes everything for me.
Right.
I cannot take that credit, and I love you, mom, for that. But she's kind of like you. She knows how to do it all. She's really good at all of that stuff. She's really creative, and she has like her own little space, but she totally does all of that for me. And she's working on a new shirt that's like yours, but ScienceGal goes down the sleeve too,
Ooh.
and that looks really cool. But
Yeah,
she
I've got a
totally
couple that
does
have
all of that for me.
axolotls right here, and I think that's
Hmm.
cool. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Every now and then she'll play with something and design me up something. I was like, wow, that looks great. And
Now,
every
does she
time it's
take care of the
like I just had
packaging too?
yeah, that's what I do. I'll do the
Because the
packaging and the
packaging
like the
is
little
amazing.
tissue paper. I can't afford it to be printed off, so I just got a stamp. So if you order something from me, know that I stamped that thing 50 times with love.
That is
With
so
each
cool.
order, that's what she makes it and then gives it to me, and then I'll get it all prettified and shipped out, so she doesn't have to do any of
Now, if
that.
people
But
want to support you by getting a
mhm.
copy of your book, where should they go
Yeah,
for that?
ScienceGalAquatics.com. It's in the store.
Ooh.
And if you want to pick one up today, I highly appreciate it.
Ta-da, ta-da. Now, if somebody was going to go to a show,
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
do you take extra copies to the show so they could get it there without paying for shipping?
I was going to, but in all honesty, I flew a different airline and I couldn't bring as much stuff, and
Oh,
I didn't have enough room for 6 books. So I brought one to show it off.
right, right. I brought it to the
But yes,
Keystone Clash in because I knew you weren't going to make it. I was telling
yeah,
people,
I appreciated that. That's
yeah,
awful sweet. I appreciate the community supporting me on that. It means a lot.
that's pretty impressive. I can't even
Mm-hmm.
imagine having the what is it called? The initiative to do something. This is huge. This is
I'm
huge.
just really self-conscious because for some reason, I went to school, I studied it, I remember trying to learn it, but punctuation is not my forte.
Mm,
So my cousin did edit it for me. So
nice.
hopefully, hopefully you're not offended. like I feel like the grammar is all good, but that was, some people are afraid of public speaking and things like that. And reading my work is that for me. So putting out this book, it really meant like one of those things you can give yourself a pat on the back for, because it's one of those terrifying things that you're putting yourself out there for other people to read and you're self-conscious about it. And I just wanted to do it. So I made myself do it.
Well,
so
I
if
know
you guys
how
want to
hard
pick
it
up a
is.
copy, it means a lot.
So that's pretty cool, because I do know how hard it is. I kind of feel like that when I make my miniatures. I design, craft, put everything that's me in them, and to put them out there, it's like raw. It's very scary.
Yeah. And I am planning on doing an audio, or not audio book. I wish.
Oh wow!
An
You could
ebook.
read it.
I don't want to read. Nobody wants to hear this Southern Midwest
Who's got
accent.
a radio voice in the fish fam?
I just always associated Rack with the radio voice, but I'm sure
Gosh, he does
we
have a
can
radio
find one.
voice.
But
Wait, speaking of
ebook
Rack,
was what I was. I know. I have one on, I framed it. It's over. I found all my stuff I was saving through the years of all the shows, all my autographs, all the artwork. I
you
don't
can
have
hang it all
much,
up now.
but I hung it all up on this wall and I can't wait to show everybody. And granted, it's not much. It's just a few things I've collected, but it's just like, I'm so proud of it.
Yes, I know the feeling. I got Sam Scales. I got Priscilla.
I've got him right there too.
Chris. Isn't it great?
Oh, dude, that we were on sync. We're just, it's all right
Some
there.
people are just so talented.
I know,
so
and I'm
talented.
not one of them.
I
can't draw. My son, he got that talent, but not me.
I do consider my miniatures artwork, but it's a different kind of artwork. It's not
yes,
drawn.
but it's
My
still
mom is a
art. But
painter.
it's all a different. I don't know what they say. Different media, different form. I don't know, but it's all art.
Yeah.
But I cannot draw. I can't draw.
Nope, me either. So where?
But
can
those
we see
miniatures
you?
are hard.
Where can we see you next? Where are you going to be? What you up to?
I don't believe there's another Aquashella until May. And I'm not sure. I'm sure there's some fish events between now and then, but probably just concentrate on my videos. Me and Jesse, now that everything in the fish room is starting to come together, we're going to start back up the live stream and the podcast. So I am looking forward. We took an accidental break that we weren't meaning to take, but we are 100% coming back. So look forward. I'll make an announcement when those are coming back. So I'm just
cool.
posting videos, working on this fish room so I can get back with the community, because I feel like I fell off a hill, and I promise I'm coming back.
Now, do you sell fish?
I don't sell fish, but me and Jesse do have plans of, we're part of the Maasai Club, which is the Missouri club. Mm-hmm. And so we want to get a table at the swap meet to start selling the book and some Vallisneria, because I have Vallisneria. And that's if I can have one plant that I'm known for, that's the plant that I can grow besides algae. So we do want to try the selling at the swaps, but we want to start at our club and see how it goes. I'm not honestly brave enough to do the online thing, but I am working on cultivating a guppy, and I want, the help of the community. I know it's going to take a long time, and it's going to take many trials and errors and working with everybody, but I eventually would like to have that one available for, especially with the the people of the community that's helped cultivate it. I think it would be really cool to have those years down the line available, but just right now I'm concentrating at selling just some of the Vallisneria at our club.
I gotta tell you, when it came to that chapter of the chromosomes and I was like, I'm gonna skip. Like, that's the only chapter I just skipped on. Like, okay.
Well, that was the one chapter that I was having the hardest time for someone to edit for me, because everybody's like, I don't know how to. I don't even know what you're trying to say. Right, and I was like, but can you just read it?
So your
I find
podcast,
it so fascinating.
your podcast is coming back and videos, or
Yes.
your podcast is separate than videos?
We record it and make the video format available for our members first. And then I was posting them more regularly, but if you would like me to post them again, I guess just let me know. But slowly releasing our older videos
Mhm.
public.
Right.
But we tried, that's the one thing I try to keep for our members is the video form of our podcast.
Okay.
And
That's pretty
then
cool.
they're usually like a year old, the ones I was posting.
Right.
They're the older ones, just kind of slowly releasing them once a week, see how people like them. But I kept the audio public for everyone, but the video just for the members. And I think it's 99 cents to join.
Well,
So
I'm
it's
pretty
not.
old school, and I don't
Mhm.
really know about podcasts. Where does one go to find a podcast?
I have it on Apple. You can go. I think if you have an iPhone, the Apple Podcast is It's one of those pre-downloaded things on your
Okay.
phone. You can go to Apple Podcasts. You can go to Spotify. You can go to Pandora. You can go to anywhere that you can stream music. Basically, has podcasts now available.
I've never streamed
So
music.
you can,
I don't even know that.
or I do have it available on ScienceGalAquatics.com. I have a tab,
Oh,
I believe, at the top that's podcast. And then you can,
okay.
if you don't want to mess with going to wherever it is, you can just go to the website and listen to it there too.
Because the most I've done is put on somebody's
Mm-hmm.
live stream when I'm going on a drive, and I just don't look
Oh,
at the
yeah.
screen because. But a lot of people don't talk as if it's a podcast. Like they'll answer the
Mm-hmm.
question in the chat without saying what the question is.
Mm-hmm.
But a podcast, I find, is a little more
Oh, yeah.
easy on the ears when you're driving.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I listen to them, sometimes I watch them. It just depends on what I'm doing.
Well, I thank you so much for coming on my
Uh-huh.
stream because I could chat with you forever. Now, I know we had
Yeah,
a chat a
me
year
too.
ago, and I put it on
Uh-huh.
my members stream, and it was more
Uh-huh.
the technical stuff about YouTubing and how
Oh, yeah.
our different takes on it, and that is for
Mhm.
my members. So if you
Yeah.
guys are members, make sure you check out. We chatted last year at the Clash about
Mm-hmm.
different things we do and don't do about making our videos, which I found fascinating. But a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
they don't make videos, and I get that. But I
I
am
like
so
to
happy.
learn a little bit of everything. I'll talk about a little bit of everything too.
Yeah, yeah. And if you'd ever like to come back on, I would really appreciate it
Oh
because
yeah,
I feel like we
we
just
can do a
started.
part two. Mhm.
I
We can do
love
part
that
2,
idea.
3,
Yes,
4. Whenever you get
yes.
sick of me, I don't mind. I'll talk to you whenever.
I love that idea. Thank you. And I am actually a part of the honorary member of the Tennessee Fish Mafia, where my handle is Susie Softtail. They think it's because I ride
That's
a
awesome.
motorcycle, but you know. So that comes up right after here, and then Danikin's
Yes.
Aquatics. So this is going to be a fun lineup going on,
Mm-hmm.
and I thank you very much, Karen. Thank you, Bob, for the super
Thank
chat,
you.
super sticker.
Yes.
I really appreciate that. And what I usually do is end my streams with my daughter singing my theme song.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
really appreciate
You have
everybody
the
who came out tonight.
best theme song.
Thank you. I want to learn to play it on the piano. Then I can play my own music. Yeah.
Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I got a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q and I'm here to show you just what I do. I have a passion for fish and exotics too, so come along with me, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Hey everybody, it's Susie Q. Na na, hey everybody, it's Susie Q, so come along with me. Said I'm Susie Q.